Opened my Tumblr and saw my girlfriend. This is beyond disbelief. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. A bit of backstory: me at the time was a U.S. Marine, home on recruiter's assistance. She was a former soldier of the U.S. Army, living with ex's parents in a hotel. She had very little to no money. So things go well the first couple of weeks we are together. I buy her things, put her on my cell phone plan, take her to nice places and pay for everything and even lend her money. The night before my birthday, I end up checking her computer cause I'm a tad suspicious of her, but I know it's bad that I check her computer, but I'm glad that I did. I find messages between her and her ex saying inappropriate things to each other. They were only a few days old, so I go wake her from on the couch and I start to ask her what is up. She then proceeds to tell me that she thinks someone hacked her Skype and was talking to him. I believed her cause I really liked her and I didn't think it was impossible. So a few more weeks go by and I have to head back to base now. So I get there and things are okay for a week until April 1st. I get on Skype after a long day of work and she then tells me that she is still with her ex, who is a deployed Marine, which makes me feel like shit that I am messing with his girl without knowing. I think it's a joke, but she tells me it not. So I tell her I need a couple days to myself to think. So 2 days later she then breaks up with me, then plays it off as some sort of late April Fool's joke. I'm not okay with this, so I end things. A week goes by and we start talking again. She ends things with the deployed Marine and I find out she is pregnant with my kid, so we get back together. A few days goes by and she calls me from the hospital saying she was in a car accident, she lost the kid and is paralyzed for a while. So I told her at the end of the week I would be there cause I couldn't just get up and leave the base to get to her without some serious trouble. So I finally get out there and when I get there I see her walking up to me. I get really skeptical and ask her. She said that she couldn't stand all of the people picking on her, so she willed herself better. So we got the hotel for the weekend, that the ex's mom chose and is staying the weekend with us cause she didn't have a place either, so the weekend is alright and we try to patch things up. She leaves to go and get food and I check her computer because I'm still really worried. I find emails of dirty pics between the two. I am disgusted at this point. She gets back, we get into another argument and I tell her after this weekend is over that we are done for good. Don't ask me why I waited that long cause I can't really answer it, to be honest. So the weekend ends and I leave. A few days pass by and I start slowly letting her into my life. So I go into a major depression and start getting suicidal ideations, but nothing past that, no attempts. I kind of tell her. She then calls the base and gets me sent to the ER, then to a mental hospital for a week. I end up getting processed for discharge. While I'm there she is begging for me back and saying how sorry she is for everything and that she will wait for me and still loves me. I call bull and tell her to stop and just let me be for a while. So I get out and another week passes. We are now in May, and she and I started dating in early March. I'm leaving the hospital on base from my weekly appointment for discharge. I check Tumblr from my phone and see pics of her and this guy at a weird formal event. Turns out that she ended up marrying the deployed Marine when he got home. I was pissed beyond belief, so I called her and got the whole story from her. She was just using me to survive. She went and got an abortion when she claimed the car accident and that she wants me to leave her alone. Well, I did just that and quickly. Got my phone back that I bought her, but never the $450 I lent her. Now she is living with him in Hawaii and they now have a kid together. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Sounds like you dodged a bullet there, son. I was cheated on. He moved in, fucked around, fucked up my car, told me one afternoon he couldn't take us anymore and walked out. He had a friend come get his shit out of the house. Never saw or spoke to him again. He married the whore and has 2 girls with her. Hope they both get knocked up in high school. Even worse, I am actually a dirt hustler. I still feel terrible all these years later. I was acquainted with a guy for several months and I slept with him. I found out afterwards he had a girlfriend who was on a cruise. I met her after the fact and she was a truly sweet girl, so I told her. She wasn't surprised, which shocked me even more, because I guess he did it a lot. It was protected. I wasn't seriously dumb. She broke up with him and took the dog. He called me after that wanting to hook up again. I never called him back. Dude, what your ex did though really takes the cake. You are much better off than with a dirtist like her. Here is the second story. I discovered wife cheating with her boss. Well, mine may not be the worst, but is worth posting. To start, after our 2 children, she wanted to start a career. I helped her get her real estate license and she began working for Keller Williams. The guy that owned the firm was my age and also married. Fast forward, due to the kids our sex life dwindled. Out of nowhere, it seemed, she wanted counseling saying our marriage was in trouble. Turns out that was when she developed a crush on him. The following Christmas party for their company, he took them all out to a fancy restaurant. My wife texted him afterward to say she enjoyed his company. He asked her if she wanted to get drinks. She couldn't because of our sleeping children. I was working 12-hour shifts to pay for Christmas presents. She invited him over instead. He didn't have plans to drink my beer, but instead fuck my wife. So they fucked 2 weeks before Christmas, and she never told me. She became infatuated with him, and he filed for divorce. He then immediately started dating someone else in their company. Instead of quitting and telling the truth, she continued to pine for him, bring our kids to his company things like Santa and Easter events, and had him help with selling our old house and buying our new house. I sat next to him and joked with him not knowing anything. We went to his housewarming party as he bought a new house after divorcing, and he came to ours. I found out on Halloween after this as my wife left her phone while taking the kids trick or treating. I had suspicions that something was up, so I searched her social media apps. Lo and behold, for 7 months she had been posting on Reddit about it, and searching married but in love with someone else and in love with my boss. Don't ask me why, but I am still with her, for now. I confronted her about it and she deflected at first, then admitted and told me everything. Even the stuff I wish I hadn't asked, like where, what acts, where did he come, did he use protection, nope, etc. She still wants to stay with me, but more so than me wanting to stay with her. She's completely remorseful and thinks she is a bad person and a whore. And I can't bring myself to disagree with her about that. She says it was an infatuation, and she was confused at the time thinking that. She says she knows now it wasn't love, but how does she expect me to believe her? I feel like she thought she had a chance at a relationship with him, but he used her, so she fell back to her safety net, me. I would have left already if not for the kids and the fear that I will never love like I love her ever again. I'm 40, starting over sounds terrible. Here are some of the best comments from our community. Honestly, I could get over my wife sleeping with someone else more than I could get over her saying she was in love with someone else. I found my first serious BF in bed with another girl. That shit stung, but I dodged a bullet also. Now he's married and has 3 kids, no thanks. That sounds terrible. I had a similar thing happen to one of my friends who was supposed to go to a wedding in Baton Rouge, Louisiana 2 weeks ago. His cousin was getting married after being engaged to this girl for a year and a half, and the date was set a year ago. Well, the girl had been cheating on my friend's cousin for about 6 months. She even met up with the dude in Texas during her bachelorette party, which was a week before the wedding. Well, 2 days before my friend flies out for the wedding, he hears of all this, which he recounted to me while giving me a ride to work. So, the wedding is cancelled, she kicks him out of their apartment and keeps all the presents that they had already received. What a bad one. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.